What do you think? All good?
Are these two posts in line?
No, don't use that at all.
Yeah,
That one is big. Measure it. We're pretty close, but yeah. Huh?
Could you help me a second? Just to hold on that line. Yeah, this one, but you do 2 bucks. It's not that bad.
I don't know. It's weird. Him and his mom. I don't know. Yeah. If you met him, you'd probably understand more. But they got some money. They just bought that green tractor, and they bought that with a snow plow and a. Look at that little tractor they got. They just bought that. That's brand new. They've got a house somewhere.
They got a mechanic that lives up off of,
All right, here it is. It's all done. Cement's done. I love it. Looks great. You can see in the video that the guy just got done cutting it. You know, the reason you want to cut your cement up here in the north, like I said, the ground, when it gets really cold, 10, 20 below, it can get so cold, the ground heaves. So you got to cut your concrete. So you got to allow for a little bit of expansion. The ground's going to freeze. It's going to raise. It's going to go back down. They cut these lines. Pretty much that's your crack in your cement. That's pretty much what that line is. So when if the cement wants to crack, it'll work its way right to that. It'll work its way right to that line. If the cement is going to crack, it's going to go towards that cut. That cut's probably about, I think you went about an inch into it. So that's pretty much, we just cracked the cement. We just took my brand new slab here, my brand new floor, we just cracked it. But we cracked it in a nice straight line both ways. If you got bigger floors, they'll cut them in sections. If you look in your basement floor is cut like that. That allows for expansion, and for if it's going to expand and settle back down. Like I said, it's a man-made crack, and if it's going to crack, it's going to go right to that spot. There is fiber in this concrete. which holds it all together. You didn't need to put rebarb in here. I'm not driving on this. If this was like a garage, and they say with this rebarb or with the fiber mixed into the cement, even if you don't use rebarb, it'll hold up. But if you're driving pretty heavy stuff on cement, you're going to want to put rebarb in. But for this is just foot traffic. There's nothing's going to drive. My tractor won't come in here. And it's about 4 inches. It came out thicker than I thought, and we had just enough cement. This little pile right here, I'm going to show you this on the ground. I figured 5 yards. That little pile right there, right here, that's all that was left. That's exactly how much we had left. So I figured this thing. I actually figured it for about 4.5 yards total. It was figured for 4.5 yards, but he brought 5 just to be safe, and we needed every bit of the 5 yards. I had some low spots, and with all the rain we had, it settled the gravel, so that dropped the level. It was higher than that, and I could tell by my marks. I'm like, that looks awfully low. So, but fortunately, we had enough cement. That's the whole thing. We had enough. We're good. The whole thing is beautiful. Although I forgot to put my date in there. I was going to put a date and a year on there, and I forgot all about it. I was going to do that last night, and I forgot. So, oh well. I know when I built it, but 100 years from now, who knows, right? Somebody see that mark. Anyways, my floor is done, so I can finish. Although I'm not going to put ladders on this yet. It's hard. Obviously, you can walk on it, but it's still a little. If I put ladders or something on it, might scratch it and make dents in it. Still, I'm going to let it set a few days. I can work on my roof now. That's coming up in the next video. I can work with the ladders around it. It'll be fine. So the floor is done. Once I start working on the inside, now it could snow all it wants. Who cares? I could shovel. If I ain't got my walls up yet, I could shovel the snow off, and who cares? It won't hurt a thing. Let's see. Let me show you my drains here really quick. What I did. So that little drain right there, you can see how it's kind of pitched. There's a rag stuffed in there, but he's got it pitched, so it'll go right to that. I'm going to pull that rag out of there. My sink will just go over that. I'm just going to run a hose. It's just going to be a cold water hose for the sink, and it can just drain right there. And like you've seen in the other video, it's just going to come out over here. It'll drain, and it'll come out. It'll come out right there. And it'll drain into my ditch that goes to the side of my building, which drains out to my pasture. One other thing that I did add to this, which is right there, is that pipe. The electricity is going to come up through the floor now, through that. I'm going to run power from way over there. My fuse panel from my main barn is over there. I'm going to run it across, come over here right where that ladder's leaning up against the wall. I'm going to dig down, come across, and it'll come right up to the floor. I decided I'm going to put a fuse box. I'm going to put a fuse box right here. I'm probably going to put like a 50 amp breaker in here, put a small box with maybe 4 or 5 circuit breakers. Put 50 amp, 60 amps, whatever, and I can run my outlets and my lights, my outlets off of different circuit breakers. When I get my honey making equipment in here, that'll all work off of that, no problem. So anyways, the floor is done. Woohoo! I'm really excited. I love it. It looks great. It's nice and smooth. It's nice and smooth. You can sweep it now. It'll be great. But like I said, it's still got to set a little bit, so walking on it's fine, but I won't put the ladders on it for the roof. I can work on the outside. So anyways, hopefully you enjoyed that video. I got a lot of editing to do on that cement. Well, you haven't seen, well, let me rephrase that. All that footage you've seen of the cement truck and all that thing ran for hours. So I had to really cut that thing apart. But hopefully you guys seen, hopefully, you know, the way I got that thing cut, you guys got to see everything here. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. So anyways, hopefully you liked this video. If you pour cement, pay somebody to do it. Unless you're really good at it. I'm not. There's no way I could have made it look like this. So it was well worth the money. The guy stayed. It took him he sat here. The truck showed up. He got here at 3:30 in the afternoon. The truck showed up at 4 o'clock. They started pouring probably about 4:15, 4:20. He was here till about 8:45, finishing it. Just had to keep going over it. No, it was cool. It started getting cool last night. And it takes a little bit longer to set up when it's cool. So about 8:45, he finally quit. I left all my lights on, too. I was so afraid raccoons or possums were going to come walking out of the woods, and I'd wake up in the morning and find footprints all over this. Oh, man, would I have been mad. So I left my barn lights on. I left the clamp lights on, hopefully thinking if any animals came over here, that would kind of keep them away. And nothing came out. Nothing obviously walked across. I walked out here about midnight, and I checked on it, and it was hard. So I wasn't worried about animals then. So it was pretty hard by midnight. So there wasn't a chance of an animal making footprints. So that's what I was afraid of last night, actually. So anyways, like I said, yeah, if you're gonna put down some cement, pay somebody to finish it, unless you know how to do it yourself. I could do something small. I couldn't do something this big. It wouldn't look good. It would not look like this. So anyways, hopefully you liked the video. Hopefully you learned something from it. Any questions, comments, please leave them. Consider subscribing to the channel. Like I always say, I appreciate it. Click that little button right there, subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. That's always appreciated. And thanks for watching the videos, and I will talk to you guys soon. All right, bye.